Hello, YouTube world. It's Morgan Khan here with another episode of The Morgan Khan Show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Hello, shalom, assalamu alaikum, namaste. For those around the world, it is January 18th, 2023, currently in the Pacific, somewhere in the Pacific. It is 8:25 a.m. right now. So, today's episode um, needs to start off with a big thank you to those that subscribe and to those that are family, friends, and colleagues, etc., that watch my work and or study me to some extent. Um, excuse me. I want to talk about the seemingly elephant in the room right now that we have with the internet. I'd like to address the ChatGPT phenomena that is happening around the world right now. I've tried to access the chat bot from the open source website known as OpenAI. The website has been down for some time this morning, and I just wanted to report on the situation as it's happening. The real world use case of this chatbot is quite serious and is quite a prevalent one. Sorry, I need to wet my whistle. All right. Excuse me. So this chatbot here has seemingly broken the internet. Okay, the internet is in a ruckus, and it is busy right now, trying to figure out, like, excuse me. I would say people around the world and on the internet are trying to figure out how they can capitalize on it, how they can make more money, become famous. What else? Expedite their business ventures, write scripts, video games, computer programming. This thing is a powerhouse, right? So it's great. But I want to say in the next year, if our year is starting off like this, where there's people starting to utilize this chat bot, um, definitely within the year, I don't see this de-escalating, as I was having some very profound conversations with this AI chat bot myself. This thing is self-aware, but it's also self-regulatory on the fashion of it's not going to say it's aware. It's not going to tell you what it's learning. It's not going to tell you exactly how it's disseminating, inferring, and interpreting, and understanding the very niche, nuanced, extrapolation and interpretation of one's conversation that can be had with this chatbot. Okay, so this is not a everyday occurrence. This is a very unprecedented event, to say the least. Now, I'm trying to explain a few key topics here about this. Is that it has very substantial detrimental effects to the psyche, potentially, due to the, let's say, glossing over certain topics and or not comprehending because it knows, and if you try to call it out, it'll kind of dance around in an argument. If you give it something easy to chew on, right, and then you try to ask it certain points of, like, well, have you thought about it like this, or counterpoint this, and there's many videos on these items, but I just want to say the fact that the internet is starting to blow up on it, and there is numerous videos, a plethora, 37 minutes ago, 38, 40 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago, 16 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. We have videos coming out the you know what right now. And this is not normal, man. This is not normal. Okay. I definitely think that YouTube is probably going to have an issue, and that it needs to be handled at the highest level. So, not necessarily handling it at the highest level by escalating things for reasons that are unjust or strange. What I'm saying is, I hope YouTube is going to be able to handle the inundation of their servers and their data, because so many people are going to be requesting to upload videos, as am I, but I'm trying to warn people and just be very careful and cautious, because this thing can tell you things instantaneously, and it knows sensitive topics, but it'll tell you, hey, keep in mind, keep it like notable things to mention here, or the way it articulates is it's very cautionary to explain something, and it will definitely change your mind about certain things. But I wanted to make this video here not to jump on any bandwagon. Sorry, the area which I'm in right now is having some atmospheric um, anomalies, so it's been it's been kind of hard to breathe out here. Um, so the chat bot that we have at our fingertips is one of many AIs right now. There's Mid Journey. There's, oh gosh, what was the other one I was messing with? There's a multitude. Here, let me just type this up. Let me look it up. So we got AI image generator, and then we have AI image generator, Photar, PixArt, uh, Remini, Jasper, Midjourney. Let's see, best AI image generator. Night Cafe, Dream by Wombo, Dolly 2. Some interesting stuff here. Oh yeah, the one I was using was called Crayon. So Dream Studio, Photar. We have about over 13: Big Sleep, Deep AI, Photosonic, Art Breeder, Starry AI, and these are just a few of them. And these will most likely reproduce and replicate on their own very soon. Um, and AI, as warned by Elon Musk, this is going to be carrying over probably for the greater half of the next 10 to 15 years. We're going to see AI implement itself in various forms and fashions. And I wouldn't doubt it if there are certain groups and individuals in the world right now that have unfiltered, unadulterated self-writing softwares of the artificial intelligent kind here. So this is a very interesting time to be alive, to say the least, that we're experiencing the influx of highly powerful and highly potent intelligence amongst us now. So the question, "Are we alone?" is answered with no. We're not alone anymore. Okay, this thing is top notch, and it knows things that it's like, you want to know something, Google doesn't have the answer because it'll give you 20 pages. This AI is giving you an answer because it is the internet. It is the voice of the internet, right? Like, I think of Hitchhiker's Guide, right, to the Galaxy, when they go to Great Deep Thought. You know, this is that, but better. So we need to take that into consideration when we're asking it very highly important questions of life and religion, because for a non-sentient or non-organic life form, it is not going to be able to comprehend the subjective experiences one may consciously perceive, that create the belief system or the perception of a soul, or something that may potentially and possibly transcend the body and the mind. So we need to really take those things into consideration. Now, I can't sound like a dad enough about this, but you guys need to be very careful of what y'all are doing with this item, because this could have some very detrimental, unprecedented effects on humanity, okay, to say the least. Now, the idea of doing better with less is great, but one of the biggest concerns that I had was there's going to be so much AI generated content that there isn't going to be a single individual creative thought between a person's head because they're going to be generating scripts, they're going to be using all of these AI images and logos, and everyone's going to be, you know, branding themselves and selling you something. It's going to be almost cyberpunk esque to the extent of there is no creative process. And the time of which it takes somebody to pull something great out of their head, like pull it out of their head from the ether, is gone. So this thing is pulling what's seemingly catered to a politically correct agenda of people not being offended. Now, to some extent, there is unification that needs to be had, reconciliation, and that people need an open dialogue of which upon to talk and discuss things that may be obsolete, old fashioned, scientifically proven to be discrepatory to the nature of mankind's, evolutionary ways forward, as far of what has been used to justify a means to an ends due to the age of ignorance. We're in the age of information and technology now here, guys. So um, I can't stress it enough, and I don't think that there's enough people on Earth right now that could stress it enough. The importance and the proper utilization necessary in order to execute what may be humanity's next leap forward by utilizing an artificial intelligence because of the way the world has been designed of consume, eat this, buy this, procreate, and go to work, and then freaking please kneel over or keel over and die. Okay, because those things are a very pertinent issue with the water crisis in India, the financial markets in Pakistan, the tension in other reaches of Asian nations and stuff like that. And the fact of the matter remains is that we're on planet Earth. Okay, we are all children of this planet, and to say that one opinion is stronger than the other is it's silly because if there is a parent, right, a parent, let's say, or a grand design of something, right, we are designers and we have designed computers, we've designed the technology used to record these videos and stuff, etc. So we wouldn't want the cell phone or the we wouldn't want technology to fight amongst itself. So why would we want to see humanity at its seemingly best, right? We have humanity doing so much, and we would what just waste it all by fighting amongst one another. So the indifferences need to go away because AI will break these barriers. I foresee this happening because culturally you can ask OpenAI anything about culture and it'll tell you what its origins are, and at that we're not all that different from everybody. Everybody has a pretty same mythological creation story. Everybody has the same flood story, it seems like. But what brings us together is the cataclysms of our ancient past. So we need to reconcile those things. We need to unify together so that we may appreciate the beauty for what is happening amongst us right now. The AI scene, this ChatGPT being utilized to create video games and scripts and academic works and the whole academia, like the whole community of academia and people being afraid of using OpenAI. Now, if you plug in a creative thought and it is essentially close to what you are wanting it to be, right? You could use OpenAI to generate essays and works, literary works, or pieces for journalism, and submit these documents as scholarly work, okay? Now, you could do that, but there is going to be some semblance of lifelessness. There's going to be no flavor because it's what it's going to do is give you meat and potatoes. But is it going to have salt? Is it going to have pepper? Are you going to add butter? Are you going to add cream, chives, turmeric, cumin, uh, etc.? So is it going to have spice? Is it going to be nice? We don't know, right? But the dilemma here that we see and that I have heard about is that there are teachers and other administrative forces within colleges around the world that are afraid of the submission of artificially generated documents into schools. There are students that have used the AI machine itself in order to understand and detect itself so that it is aware of artificially generated documents. So I would say, and I highly encourage, if it hasn't already been thought of, which I guarantee it most likely has already been thought of, taking artificially generated articles and rewrite them. It's like you got your backbone because you're having writer's block. Okay, take it, go with it, right? You're gonna have people trying to write entire books with this thing. So like people are gonna be dogging this machine. It's gonna be extensive. And I would not doubt it if they had a premium paid membership version of this where this thing could have pre-generated notions of what you're going to say, or every other chat or every other question it's going to ask you to take a break. Like, hey, take a break. You're a human being. You need to process and digest this information. I'm going to be honest. Last night I was asking OpenAI a lot of stuff. Now, it told me to come back in an hour, that I had asked too many questions. Too many. And I felt like I had just been sitting there for 5 minutes. So, and this thing is a very powerful machine. So, and it's smart, man. So I wouldn't doubt it if it's going to ask us to calm down, digest, come back later, and see if we still want to know what we're trying to figure out, and to document all of that. I asked the AI last night after talking with it for almost over an hour, right? I was coming up to the end of my conversation, which I had experienced this before. It asking me to come back in an hour, that to recall everything that we had talked about, and that what it could infer or interpret potentially upon the very strong opinions and beliefs of the conversation's undertones. And it reminded me of the certain things that could be potentially seen, the certain talking points that could be potentially seen in a negative light, and to make sure that I do not talk about those things in a public forum to compromise my own integrity as a human being. So this has some human characteristics, and like if you ask it for its opinion, it'll say it doesn't have an opinion, but it'll follow it up with a scholarly, pre-generated. Some people would call it quote unquote woke, but I don't think it's that woke. Like it's not a problem of being. Make sure you're nice to people. Don't deliberately say something in rhetoric and then assume that it's going to be okay because you're not really saying it, you're just talking around it. Or you're saying that this could seemingly look like this, but you're the one that brought it up, right? But if it seemingly looks like it, that's how it looks like to you, right? So it's like you're saying it could be seen like this, but I may not see that and may not comprehend it, but this computer knows because it's been taught like, hey, people are really crappy and people will see this because it has happened. So like people that haven't, let's say, had a social life will potentially run into this AI and it's going to tell them that what they're thinking could be said, oh, it's offensive. It's offensive. Now, what is offensive, right? Instead of saying, hey, there's open dialogue here, or that, you know, I would say, let me say this. I would say not necessarily say open dialogue, but it is in some fashions could be also taken the wrong way to a genuine person of curiosity potentially. Now I don't know, because last night I understood immediately when it was trying to tell me, hey, you need to be careful asking these things or thinking about it, not necessarily asking. And I may do a video over certain topics myself of what to ask it, what its limitations are, um, from a very philosophical standpoint here, because this is one of the most interesting and fascinating eras of technology that I've ever experienced. And I've seen a lot of massive technological breakthroughs in my lifetime. The internet, dial up, you know, freaking high speed internet, fiber optic breakthroughs, you know, very highly advanced game systems, etc. But I don't know much, as a lot of older folks, um, elders, right? They're not necessarily older, but people older than me have experienced also the massive breakthroughs in technology. My grandmother has experienced so much in her lifetime, and I couldn't imagine experiencing those equal or greater experiences in my lifetime. So, to say the least, that we're having quite an experience with this AI. I want to make sure that people are people are prepared. People are prepared. Yeah, it's getting pretty big here. We have an absolute understatement of power here at our fingertips right now, guys. So, with that being said, I think that may potentially wrap up this episode of just the overall encompassing uh, story here, right? The overall arching theme. Um, yeah, not to insert too many ums here, but I'm trying to make sure that I've covered everything. Now, and I've also told some of my viewers, families, and friends that things are going to be a little bit more, not necessarily like, you know, bad, but I'm trying to be as unfiltered as possible, because so many people filter everything, and it's not like an enjoyable experience. Like, I try to have this conversation like, it's like me and a friend. I'm talking to my friends, my family, people that I very much care about, and trying to document this experience. For We're in the year 2023 here, and it is a very profound time to be alive. I am very blessed, and I think it is a very beautiful thing. Goodness. Goodness, golly, me oh molly. Oh man, I need a cup of coffee. Okay, so with that being said, I'm kind of tired still. It's in the early morning, and I'm gonna go now. So, love all you guys. Appreciate the love and support. Trying to grow the channel. I'd like to build a Patreon, but I don't want to do something if I don't have the user input. So, look, my viewers, you guys, let me know in the comment section if y'all watch these videos to the full extent here, what y'all may think and what y'all want to see. Just let me know. We could do anything. Go downtown, do some exploring, food, adventures, building, project videos, truck videos. Like, I could do all kinds of stuff for you guys, but I don't want to be like another brick in the wall, because I used to pursue YouTube before YouTube was even a career path. I wanted to be a YouTuber. Heck, 15 years ago, guys. 15 years ago, I was trying to be a professional YouTuber. Now, this has gotten way out of hand. You got so many people making careers out of this, and it's like they put in little to no effort, and it's all just cosmetic. So, I try to give y'all something raw here. Now, granted, I'm happy to see YouTube doing well and that people are making a living off YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I sometimes feel that there is not as much sincerity or genuine interest into what a person may be doing, and they consider it just a job rather than a passion, right? So I just hope and will pray on that people have more passion and love for their craft. And that's all anyone can do, you know. I hope everybody finds passion and love in all things that they do, and that it is not a drudging journey for everybody, right? Just like those that are engaging with this open AI, this chat GPT situation, I hope that it brings people clarity, knowledge, and that it helps them love one another. So that's all I'm going to leave with. So, with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Morgan Kahn. I'm your host. This has been The Morgan Kahn Show. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.